GODSENT here, they just battered them on their CT side of Inferno. So I hope that OG just give us a better, more well-rounded game.
The bad news for OG, though, is that GODSENT will... I mean, I actually don't know if this is good or bad news. I'm just going to frame it that way, I guess. Is that GODSENT are going to be running their playbook right off the get-go. So OG can find themselves on the back foot. We'll see what OG can do to contest, though. And hitting shots is a great way to start off. And MBK will take off Madden's head. And... well, there's a huge torrent of GODSENT players now making their way through Connector. So this is the next challenge for MBK. Great shots, and another from MBK before he goes down. He has absolutely done his job so far. Valley with the lurk here. Oh, he's actually been waited for by Zen.
Oh, no.
Zen. Oh, no. He's going to feel gutted about that one. But you know what? Oh, nice backflip. almost made it all the way around. Zen's going to be a little bit sad about that, but it doesn't really matter ultimately because he would have been alone. So 1-0 start by OG, so that's what they needed. Shoutouts to Prius, the observinator of this game.
DJ has been great.
Okay, we can't leave an awkward pause after you said after that statement.
Are people doubting it or something?
Come on, guys.
DJ's been great.
You're gonna make him feel bad.
Yeah, he is great, guys. He's
Thank
really
you,
great.
Eric. Thank you. Wow. Can't believe you guys left him out there like that.
I made my statement, gave him a great compliment, and there's no follow-up.
I was looking at the GODSENT Force 5 pistol.
Look at that. DJ catching the action already. Catching every kill in the round thus far.
Hey man, it's about more than just the kills. It's about the story.
I have a good story.
Yeah.
And the story for GODSENT's pistol round, pistol stat, not going too well. 2 on 5. Both tees are pretty low HP. Effectively 1 shot each for the most part.
Nice repositioning from Manti. That will catch Farlig. I like Farlig's green deagle. That looks nice. And not much left to do here. We're kind of waiting for a GODSENT's buy round. I'm really curious what their looks will be like from them.
Oh!
That's a good catch. Didn't expect... I don't think... Getting a kill out of this round is not bad, considering that they were getting wiped out. It's very surprising. Okie dokie. 2-0 for OG. And they're up against a save from GODSENT.
Couple deagles coming out for the side of GODSENT. See what Mod and Stiko are able to do. Stiko had a very nice deagle round in the previous map. See if he's able to replicate that.
So if GODSENT was MIBR or Fallen, they'd probably buy again, huh? Notice that like Fallen's team is one of the few teams that will force buy multiple rounds in a row after pistol.
They would
bonus.
They would do that if they did significant damage and try to keep the pressure on the opposing team's economy. Don't really know if they would do it if they only had 1 kill.
Yeah.
Well, things have slowed down here. GODSENT have some nice positioning towards A, but OG are in a very team-oriented passive setup, except for at B, actually. A couple of those players are kind of on their lonesome, but really it doesn't look like they'll be challenged anytime soon. So we'll see what GODSENT's able to find here towards this A site. Maybe they can get a jump spotter with a deagle shot. Montu, though, challenging from a steady, stable position on the ground. And looks like it'll just be a pretty slow approach, but that's a nice start. Auden taking down NBK there. Good counter utility and still good positioning for the remaining OG players. At this point, GODSENT, they have a case and some possibilities to find some damage and perhaps a bomb plant. That would be insane. Oh, a Molotov for Zen. That could force the player back default out of position if he so chooses to place it there. We'll see what he opts for. And it goes a little bit deep, so Alexi B is able to clean things up along with Montu. And GODSENT were posturing for a potentially dangerous round, but OG cleaned it up very nicely.
Yeah, definitely a good disciplined approach. And they only lose 1 player per round the last couple rounds. That's great. It's good for OG. And yeah, oh yeah, that did go quite deep. Kind of in between bank and dice. Either way, AK's coming out now for GODSENT, so now we'll get to see what sort of rounds they have to throw at OG. Okay, oh, they'll just take a bit of the molly there. Oh, is that not deep enough? I think that molly wasn't deep enough. They're on the stairs, the T stairs. And a fast timing by Crystal straight out there to try to call the bluff. Smokes are not brick walls. Good damage to Valde there as well. So GODSENT have a pretty decent timing here on their default in terms of map control. Connector, they have the choice here to go bathrooms and connector, and it doesn't look like are they going to invest in bathrooms? I'm unsure at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, it looks like someone's Madden's going to take towards the bathroom, and ultimately GODSENT decides that OG's giving them enough room to set up for a wall of smokes towards A. But the forward smoke from OG kind of makes GODSENT hesitate just a little bit. And here we go. Here comes the wall of smokes. The Montu just pushed beyond the smoke. He gets a big kill here. And MBK takes out Crystal in the bathroom. With only 35 seconds left, GODSENT has to hit this bomb site. Well, not really have to, but looks like they are.
Yeah, the rotations come in. Alexi B still on the bomb site with an MP9. He can get it all done from this spot, actually. The smokes are fading, and that will give him an opportunity. But, oh, Zen kills the player on the flank. This feels like we just saw this happen on Inferno, where they have them boxed in, but somehow GODSENT get an avenue to the other bomb site, and they take it this time. 1v3 for Alexi B. It looks like he just wants to recover that gun, but, oh, still defending it, actually. His mod and good awareness from him, but what a nice shot.
That's a really critical shot too. That allows him to keep the AWP in his hands and carry that to the next round. And an AWP on a map like this, you can do a lot with it, but he's got to be really careful. He's not going to get around the corner in time. That's really unfortunate. He had a lot of different ways he could have gone there, actually, that would have kept him completely safe. So I'm really unsure why he went towards the A site as opposed to into the bathrooms where you can cut off all the angles pretty much instantly. And they would have also have had to have run towards him to kill him, which would have given him sound cues, so he could also stay safe that way. So kind of a peculiar decision, but maybe there was a call on the comms that made him think that was the best play. Either way, as you say, surprising round for GODSENT.
Yeah.
I like how Eric retracted the fact that they don't have to go towards A, and right when you said that, they just started going towards B.
Yeah.
You just like pulled it back right then.
Like, wait a minute, there's 30 seconds left. Technically, they could just run back. It'd be a little tight on the time. As you saw, they did get the bomb down in time.
It's good comedic timing.
Still spray out the smoke blooms, as that's when the CTs would think that they are safe to take positions behind it.
GODSENT just really taking their time on their defaults, being methodical, cleaning out every angle, pop flash for each other. They do have control of the water. Pretty much all 5 members of GODSENT are towards this B a bomb site of the map. And they're trying to bait out the Molotovs from OG, and this is going to be good because they have still plenty of flashes and smokes to overwhelm this B bomb site, and the CT's going to have to hit a lot of good shots if they want to stop this.
Here goes the swing. Seeko, the point man for this one. Unable to get the first frag. In fact, nobody is able to get the frags there for GODSENT. They're going to get annihilated. Crystal trying to get one of these picks. And over behind him. Ooh. Now Farley. He's going to get some damage. There's one kill at the very least, but great hold from OG. They're going to start to feel comfortable very soon.
That was, I thought that was such a big favor for GODSENT right there. They had smokes, they had flashes, and there's no really much Molotovs for the OG to counter their push. But I guess as part of the game, you got to still hit your shots, and once you execute the bomb site properly.
One really good counter flash helped them out a lot. It didn't even completely blind everybody, but it really stopped them in their tracks. So OG able to turn an unfavorable situation into one that somehow worked in their favor. That's what they're going to need in this game. Issa. Oh man, you do not want to see Issa heat up on this map. All right, Zen will cool him off a little bit in this round, takes him down. And GODSENT are still very spread out across the map, looking for information or some kind of in on the round. And Crystal will be making his way through the long bathrooms. This will be heard by NBK. And NBK looks quite ready for this fight. And he'll be able to take him out.
Oh. Oh.
We have been seeing the quick switches a lot.
Yeah, oh, hello. Zen gets another kill out of this Galil. So well-placed incendiary. Then I'll force him back. I'm a bit afraid for Mantu. I don't know why, but I just have this sense that things are awkward, you know, and a headshot might be coming his way. That said, you know, the GODSENT players are so weak here at the moment. Nothing to lose, pushing forwards. Trying to see if they can find one of those kills. Okay, well maybe I was right about the headshots. Oh no!
Goodness.
Oh,
Oh my goodness!
I guess my sense was correct. The dread that I was feeling for OG is coming to pass. Valde there looking for the save. But how do they do that? There was a 2 versus 3, and they had to get onto the site with no utility. One of them had a Deagle, one had a Galil, and both of them had sub 20 HP.
Red HP. Yeah, I don't know how, Dan, but your instincts were just perfect. Just how animals can feel an earthquake coming. Same thing with you in that round. Wow, that's spooky stuff.
You guys noticed from last round the Molotov that GODSENT tossed for the water boost? So you know when people hop up on the sandbags to look in the water as CT? There was a Molotov there last round when they were taking water. I don't know if it was GODSENT that tossed it or he might have accidentally Molotov the spot. So something to check out water default.
Oh, clean work for GODSENT here on the anti-eco. This is not looking good for OG as GODSENT pick up some steam here. We'll see how things shape up in the next gun round, though.
Well, we'll have to see whether or not MBK can find a result in this situation. It's going to be a tricky one. It'd be so cool to find a way to steal a gun into the next round. But look how patient GODSENT are being right now. They do not want to get caught off guard. And what's really smart about this is in waiting in the way that they have been here, what they've done is they've created a situation where if MBK was doing a walk flank, even a big flank, he would 100% have run into the stack of players. So they waited, they used time on the clock, and this is just a demonstration, an active demonstration of how disciplined and GODSENT are, how much they believe in the system, how much they have prepared themselves in terms of protocols for the various situations that will occur, and how ruthlessly they are sticking to these protocols that they have created for themselves in their practice. That level of discipline is something that, you know, as someone that's watched so much Counter-Strike at a pro level, it's something that you don't see that often, and to that extent. And one of the reasons is because I think that these teams are always playing so much CS. It's actually so exhausting to be as diligent as that all the time. So it's really cool to see that GODSENT are really trying to, even in the rounds where they have a significant advantage, they're thinking, we don't want to give away the slightest possible edge. And we're going to look at this as seriously as any other situation.
I feel like that switch came around the time of them picking up Farlig and the removal of Makalele. It really feels like this team is on another gear now.
He was the one thing I didn't like about the team, I gotta say.
I didn't. Yeah, that's true.
I've been reading that story.
That's really it. I just have to agree.
He just sounded toxic in the stories, man. It's not a good team atmosphere.
He's done some things which I really didn't approve of. So
they didn't look this good either.
Yeah.
But it was actually a totally different look for the team.
It makes sense because I mean you have good atmosphere.
Yep.
As we heard from the other day, that they're having fun, they're enjoying it. So.
Yeah, they're in a really extended honeymoon, or at least for this tournament. and it's a good look for them. They always seem ready to help each other out. They'll play off of each other in such a tight fashion. And it's fun Counter-Strike to watch. And hopefully we get more of it in this round.
More, give me more.
Yeah.
Wow. Just moving as a unit. Look how tight they are on each other. They really mitigate the chances of a random OG player having a monster round because of their spacing. Refresh smoke, though, towards Divider, and that's at such a good time. We've been singing the praises of GODSENT, but this is shaping up very well for OG here. You can see that GODSENT are a little bit desperate in this round. There's only 20 seconds left, and NBK spraying them through the smokes, doing a lot of damage. Alexi B also in an excellent spot to stop this long push here. That flash has to be on the mark, and it... Ooh, that's so good, enabling Zen here.
Oh,
Modin, what? The 180 jump onto the bomb site, and he's able to take down one, but NBK with the monster play from Truck is able to shut it all down in the blink of an eye.
Wow, that was so fast. All of those deletions on the side, and it had to be so fast. But I'm curious what happened to Mantu there. It looked like his mouse was like skipping or something, or like he was looking at the radar, or something was happening there, because he didn't react. So I have to imagine, you know, something was up. Nice stuff from MBK. Almost got the fourth kill there too. Beautifully done. Just in the nick of time, MBK swings in. That's such a save. So that's truly a heroic moment. Okay, we'll see though if OG can continue. They have no money, so they really need to win this round, and it's not too far away from the same case for GODSENT, but that's a great pick there, finding that aggression out of Valde, and that's painful. To lose someone like that early on the CT side, it's definitely rough. And again, in terms of like talking about preparation, protocols, all the rest of it, this is one of GODSENT's main maps that they play, and you have if you're gonna be a self-respecting IGL, you have to know on every single T side of any map that your team plays what are like the 2-3 responses that we have that are the most advantageous in a 5v4 with over a minute left. You have to know what the answer to that is, because you get so much freedom.
The answer is B.
Yeah, and it looks like they've gambled correctly here. Monster is often a safe choice, but look at this. Farlig he's got a very expensive gun here, and he's just going to donate that to OG. I'm sure they'll be happy with the donation.
Yeah, I don't see a strong case for OG going for this one, but at least they'll be able to save that moving forward. See though, NBK is in the short position towards B, but there's already so much position gained on the side of GODSENT. They'll go for the little railing boost here, see if NBK can find something into this round, some in. It doesn't look like he'll be presented with any angles, and now they've heard that boost being dismantled, and they fall off. So GODSENT will pick up their fourth round. Great macro decisions from them in order to take this one away. Interesting gamble stack, though, from OG to place all 4 of their members at that A bomb site instead of going for any kind of info play towards water, perhaps. It felt like they really were convinced that that was going to end up at A.
Gamble stack does not pay off, but they do save 4 of their weapons, so that's a big plus. Especially the match is still early in the map. Plenty of rounds to play. Try and get as many chances as you can get.
By the way, one of the reasons why that might be a response that they make in a 5v4 is because you can kind of like one of the offensive plays the CTs will make is either towards bathrooms or it's towards sewers. So if it's the case that they do like a forward sewers setup, by going all through Monster, not only do you get really great engagements for the whole team, but you get to circumvent and more guarantee a plant by out-positioning the CTs. So that's like another reason why that Monster push is one of the good options in that 5v4.
Also less spots to check when you're scaling up in the bomb site because your back is against a wall for the most part. So you pretty much, everyone has to look towards, the CT spawn side.
Yeah.
After they clear the right, of course. Just keeping it simple. Angling, it's a thing.
Ooh, nice by Mantu. I was going to say, GODSENT need to find a way to get a pick or either get... It looked like they were more trying to work for position to set piece in this round. but I don't think that's going to happen here. OG have a pretty strong setup on the site. Now, do they go back to B again here after losing the player towards A? They have full nades.
Yeah, there's no way that GODSENT knows that they have 3 people stacked in this A bomb site.
What a great play from MK, using that smoke like that. Just works out so well, looking for more. Zen does take him down, but still, huge advantage gained by OG in this round. Not only do they have info, but they have that extra damage on Zen. Soften him up as he tries to make his way to this B bomb site. It'll be a 1-2 split onto the site. Valde will be challenged, takes down Stiko towards Monster, and GODSENT recognize that there is no more hope in this round.
Indeed. Got to save those guns. So here, this was an interesting prospect. So OG basically make a statement in this round to GODSENT. They say, hey, we understand if you guys do get that early pick, that you can abuse that pretty effectively. So we're going to try just not playing quite passively, and you're not going to get a pick. So then what are you going to do? And it was in fact the case that GODSENT got picked themselves in the course of running their default, and then they were unable to really figure out a good response at that point. So I wonder if GODSENT will switch things up and try to abuse the fact that OG are more passive.
I think so. They should, because I was going to make a point actually about GODSENT. Their defaults are really, really slow at the moment. Like they're executing at the bomb site with like 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds left in the round, and I think they should try working. See if they can work choke points a little quicker, because as you said, OG's kind of playing a bit passive, letting them up in some of these areas, so you can shave some time off of the clock by being a little quicker.
Yeah, it'd be a great time to throw in a tempo shift on the side of GODSENT. Keep OG uncomfortable. Don't let them settle into those bomb sites, because they've looked really cozy on A. Looks like it'll actually be a pretty early monster pop coming out from them. Here it comes. All right, Modern first up, but the counter smokes are already out for OG. This is crazy that they have read this so well to smoke both sides of the pillar in such a fashion. This is
GODSENT smokes.
Well, Valde, though, still has a smoke, and pushing through will be Modern. Crystal as well, trying to make an attempt, but Valde from this barrel position has been untouched by the utility of GODSENT. Makes that FAMAS look so good. It just leaves Zen in the monster tunnel now. He has so little to work with here. He can find a kill, but Valde using that smoke now as a one-way, able to pick up a beautiful 4K on the round.
Who was the person who ran through the smoke first with the flashes?
It might have been Modern or
yeah,
Crystal.
I'm not sure why they didn't check the barrels. It seems very odd. Yeah, Modern, yeah. Because then I think the rest of your team is kind of assuming that position is clear. But there was a wall of smokes, so I'm quite surprised that it was overlooked.
Yeah, I think that was GODSENT smokes, right?
Yeah, I think at least one of them. I don't know about both, because I saw 4 smokes up
right.
the CT. I was like, huh. And so I'm thinking maybe they should have slowed it down if, I don't know if that strat is designed to smoke like what they did, but it's usually not a great idea to push a wall of smoke of 5-on-5.
Yeah, that was interesting. NBK, though, looking for the ace. He's up for it. Just Farlig to find. Will he get it? There it is. Ace for NBK.
Ace.
Give us the graphic.
We need the crayons. It's okay.
Denied. Only when they want to, not when you not when you ask for it.
No eco aces.
It's true. It should have an asterisk, There you go. Asterisk. Yeah, he had an ace, but was it really impactful? I don't know.
NBK is on 19 kills, though.
He has been pretty smoking hot on this map. Nice.
Pop.
Really clean, too. I think they were all headshots.
There we go.
Woo!
All right, GODSENT. Looking for another couple rounds. 3 possible in the half. How many of those can they get? XP with a High flash for the peak there. Doesn't see anything. Oh, there we go. They pop out.
Oh, what?
And they're just going to contact out onto the site. It's a two-man setup on the long position. And that's left the site very vulnerable. And this is a straight gamble from GODSENT. And it's going to work out in that sense. Because, I mean, you do get retake positions by holding long for the CTs. But it's certainly an awkward proposition.
That's an awkward spot right there. Oh my goodness, MBK is probably a little upset. Not completely clearing his right corner.
Oh man, you just don't expect the player to ever be on the stairs like that. That's such an interesting lurk spot for Zen there.
Yeah.
And this has become a very tough retake for OG. I'm interested as to why Montu is still pressing on forward. Maybe looking to find just one more kill before falling off.
Don't lose the up, dude.
But, oh,
Oh,
no, he doesn't have the time. Yeah. He might be able to find a backstab here. This is odd. Okay, all right. Able to inflict some damage. That actually keeps the money relatively low for GODSENT now. None of the players have above $4,000, so there will be no op in play, and the utility will also be rather limited.
Or the firepower, one or the other.
Yes.
And so the question is, what do they choose? And that will certainly reflect the round that they want to run. I'd imagine that we got to see a couple of Galils or even Mac 10s or something. You have to have nades on this map to do anything.
Yes.
So I think that's what the tactical pause is for, to decide, okay, what kind of round do we want? What do we need for that round? And then they can make the decisions appropriately. It's just Farlig and Zen that haven't bought yet, so I guess it's a decision for those two. Do we get firepower? Are we going to run a fast contact play? Or are we going to focus on getting some nades in there as well? So we see the Galil out of Farlig. Will Zen follow suit? Zen actually top fragging for the team, 13 and 7. He will also get a Galil and full nades. So 3 players with nade sets. And the Molotovs are really important as well, because if you want to get a Molotov in the short position so the CTs can't push quickly, or it forces them to use a smoke early if they do decide to push quickly. That said, we don't see it. More of a focus towards connector and A. They may just explode on A once again here. This is what this might be shaping up to be.
Okay, though, he's in the forward bathroom spot. He's pretty much alone in the spot. So if GODSENT gets wind, if he's in this corner, they can really isolate him and take him out. But they're all going to walk by, and this could be a huge play from MBK to flank. He does take out Stiko, who's trying to sneak up through the connector. And now this doesn't look too good for GODSENT, even though they're in the bomb site. Now they have to fight a war on 2 fronts here.
That's why DK is still such a nuisance towards these bathrooms. Modern is in a great spot, but this is often cleared out. But Alexi B will overlook the angle. Modern is only able to get one, though. Crystal quick on the trade. Oh, the spray from Crystal, though, but he doesn't know there's another player. GODSENT. It was a tough spot, and it was looking doable for just a moment there, but OG had the numbers and are able to find their 9th round in this one.
Wondering if comms was an issue right there. Because Montu just killed a person right before he killed that last person in GODSENT. I don't know if the comms went off in time.
Yeah, that may have been it. That's a good point. This broke down all in just an instant.
Yeah, a lot of fighting around that position. 5 rounds of GODSENT. Looking for number 6. The money for the CT side is obviously it's good enough to replenish all those nades.
Ooh, that's by Valde. Okay. Maybe not a misbuy, just kind of trolling there. He has a Negev on the ground, a Nova on the ground.
He wants all the weapons.
A potpourri of weapons in CT spawn.
They call him Nicolas Cage.
Lord of Arms?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That film. I saw that in theaters.
Solid. So it's an entertaining one.
It went under the radar.
Connector control here for GODSENT. And once again, they're running the same round as before, at least the same opening. That pinch between connector and fountain towards party, towards bathrooms. And maybe they just walk into the A site here and Do they burst through the smoke? It's certainly not a bad play to make. Going to be trying to look over it. I don't know, what does he see? Oh, there's a head. Nice pick. And they go. Nice and simple. Great catch onto MPK. And these CTs are out of position right now. They're going to be able to make their way in quickly, but... Ooh, Alexi B can't get anything. Mantu picks off one before some of the utility falls. And they're going to run straight through the smoke here. Alexi B makes his way around. I think the T's have been caught off guard in it. There needs to be some kind of a counterplay. Crystal's the man to make it as they block each other in the smoke. Oh, so many in the smoke here. Crystal, how many is he going to get here as he looks for the backstab? There's one. The second one. Oh, Valdez shuts it down. It's up to Zen now, just tapping away. The Deagle can't find it either. And it's going to be 10 rounds at the end of the first half for OG. A fantastic half for them. We'll have to see if GODSENT have any tricks up their sleeves after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gents. It's time for GODSENT to pull their socks up and show us some counter-strikers. OG in such a fantastic position. What a half they had.
Wait, I have to stop you. Look at GODSENT. 5 players towards A at the beginning of a round for a CT side pistol. This is crazy. Farling, though, will be the first challenge. And
it's a bait. Oh. Is this a massive bait setup? Because usually that player just plays the info.
Oh, it's not working out.
As a bait, it would make sense if they were all hiding in bathrooms.
Yeah.
Or something. Then it would make sense as a bait.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was supposed to be more or less a bait. It was maybe supposed to deal with, like, this is a hard counter to, say, a 3-2 A split for the T's, which is a common opener.
Yeah.
But if they all just run up long A, then it does not work. If they were all in bathrooms, that might have been a small contingency plan.
The interesting thing too is that Farlig, I think the bait works also if you run and fall back as well, and you could try to take the stand at front bathrooms, as opposed to taking the stands at fountain. Because then you keep the attention alive just a little bit longer, but it still serves as an effective bait. But yeah, that falls a little bit flat, but that's okay. And we'll see if there can be a very strong T side look from OG. I think we always have to credit teams to the fact that it's very hard. Like a CT side and T side are very different. Is kind of what the point I'm trying to make. So we have to see what look OG have. It may be very different to that first half. Similarly for GODSENT. But this is a good start here. Mantu getting the kill onto Madden definitely lightens the load that they have to bear in this round. Oh, okay, so maybe Mantu looks a little bit laggy, actually. Maybe that was what happened earlier.
Oh, yeah, he's kind of skipping a little bit. That's unfortunate, but it's a reality of online Counter-Strike. Farlig, though, will be able to take 2. Oh, no, Farlig. All right. Stopped in his tracks by Valde, but good positioning from the GODSENT side already. A quick flank may come out from Crystal there at that long position, and he's actually joined by a teammate. Do they actually know that the other player is there? Or... Oh, wait, did someone lag out? What's going on?
Oh, yep.
Oh.
Was it Mantu? Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it was the other...
Oh.
Oh, no.
No, a player from GODSENT is out of the server.
Seiko's gone.
Yeah, yeah. So I was looking at the radar, and the dot is still there for him. So I was like, okay, double flank coming out. But, all right, OG able to take this one with perhaps more ease than they expected. Given that player is DC from the server. Looks like we'll see a technical pause in just a moment as Seiko tries to recover.
There we go. Well, what can GODSENT do? They're down a lot of rounds here, and it doesn't look like they're kind of in it because, you have Farlig and Stiko, who have been, in my mind, the more consistent of the killers on the team, the fraggers, and they both had like 3 kills so far in this game. So it's definitely a little odd, that aren't able to find those kills. won't help, you know.
Oh, he's back.
There we go. Good thing.
This is going to be a tough comeback if there is to be one for GODSENT, because they don't have much of a buffer to play with. Not a lot of room for error.
Yeah, this is a scary position for GODSENT. You could see that on Inferno. They like to run a lot of plays on the CT side to start these rounds off, but on Overpass, you have to dedicate bodies to some of the aggressive plays that you make, which in turn induces a level of risk to the plays, and that's not something you like to do when you're behind, to consistently take heavy risks on plays. So you have to have your nade procedures down to a T in order to feel confident in doing that. We might see some hesitation on GODSENT that we really haven't in this series just yet. I hope they still persevere. I hope they still show that they have that mental fortitude, that they just trust their plays. But I feel like we might see a couple more hesitations in this game.
Yeah, it definitely is shaping up that way. Overpass is an interesting map because there's so many options on both sides as well. So I think with GODSENT, I would want to see something similar to that Inferno CT side that they had, which was so good, where they have a different look every round, and each of those looks though includes them taking initiative somewhere on the map, which sort of forces some kind of a response from the T side, whether that's a response of them saying, okay, we're going to avoid this position, or if it's going to be, okay, well, we want to challenge this position because you've taken it away, or if it's going to be something else entirely. But you kind of put them in a spot where maybe they can't run their comfortable defaults and so on. And on Overpass, actually, that's part of the reason why the incendiaries on the T steps are really important, because for the CT side, it gives you a lot of safer choices around your aggression, because you get a better track of what they're doing and their timings, and if they smoke it, you know they've smoked it, but you can also have forward timings, so if they want to play into Fountain, they have to clear stuff with utility, so it just creates more expectation as to what's going on. And that level of control is something that you need on the CT side.
Yeah. You need to take some initiative on Overpass. Playing passively in the bomb site is a recipe for disaster. A team like OG, even though they're not in love with Overpass, in fact, they tend to avoid it in most vetoes. It's a map that, if you give them space, they'll have some kind of set play onto a bomb site, good smokes, flashes, mollies that'll just eat you up. It's something that GODSENT really can't afford to play right now. You can't play that game. You need to stick with the game plan despite the round deficit.
Absolutely agree.
Being boozled.
I'd say I don't know what to expect from OG too, because we've seen OG play this map a few times, and the first time North spanked them, and we were like, oh, OG don't really seem prepared for this map. Actually, they look kind of like they're a bit lost in the mid round. Then we saw another look from OG on this map against Vitality, and it looked like OG were overperforming all over the place, and Vitality were playing the better Overpass, but OG took it all the way to the overtimes with how well they were playing on an individual basis. So I don't really know how to read OG and their performances on this map yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe North was actually an underperformance, in all honesty.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe we give too much credit to North in that one, in that sense.
Plus, you got to take a fact that Issa had like 40 kills against Vitality on this map. So Issa definitely played an amazing game that series.
Yeah, he was nothing short of brilliant in that one. And back on the flank is Modin, but he's taken down by Montu. And a nice little setup between the GODSENT players at A, but Alexi B just systematically clearing them all out. Great job from OG to minimize their losses in this round. And they take 3 AKs forward, only losing an SMG, and now I dug myself in a hole. I don't know what the other player lost. I thought it was also an SMG, but I'm not sure now.
You can say yeah. Why not?
Yeah, let's just assume.
Someone will remind you online that you're wrong. Give you a private message. Call you some names. It's good stuff.
My DMs are open.
Let them know. Let us know.
pretty liberal with the block feature, though.
Well, I feel like if there's going to be something from GODSENT, it's going to be in this round. So let's keep a close eye on how this one goes for them. They're playing a setup right now that's...
Looks pretty standard.
So, are there 2 players in Graffiti? Am I reading that right on the minimap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
It might be sandbag boosted.
I think they're going for a sewers play right now. You can see that on the minimap, Stico is looking into sewers. They just mollied the close position for him. So right now, whilst we're seeing OG work on long control, GODSENT just took sewers control. So they're playing proactively, which is important. They have the information. They can rotate players to A, leave someone forward in sewers, and they can have a stronger A defense. This is like having banana control as the CTs on Inferno right now. It's the same kind of deal.
Yeah, it's so important to have that space. And with 40 seconds left, OG, they don't even have control of the divider position. They are forced all the way back. GODSENT really stifling their approach already, doing such a great job to make OG uncomfortable here. And it looks like they may, in fact, challenge Seiko here at Water. They're moving down connector now, and it's really going to be up to Seiko to try to find something. A multi-frag from this position would be key in securing the chances for GODSENT, but that's an excellent flash to force him out, but he's still able to pick up 2. Nice stuff from Seiko. Just 2 players remain now for OG.
Oof. Not a good miss for Manti. 4 versus 2 in favor of GODSENT, and we actually have the save here. That was crazy that Stico dodged that flashbang. It didn't even look like it flashed him in the slightest, though. At the same time.
It didn't seem like it got him at all, surprisingly.
I think if it was going to go in the right place, he still would have avoided it. But I don't know where it went. Because, okay, look, we can see here. Oh, it was off screen, I guess. It's hard to say.
He saw it coming, I think.
Yeah.
So it was easy to turn from his
But, like,
position.
it didn't even go, like, slightly white. Did
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of far from him for some reason.
it looked like it was going to be on, but I don't know. Something seemed off there.
Yeah, well, regardless, Seiko's able to capitalize off of it. And good for him. And good for GODSENT. They took the initiative in that previous round, which we wanted, and they made it all look so good. Now Farley playing at the front bathroom's position isn't being smoked off. This is an interesting look from GODSENT that they don't want to force him off of this angle just yet, but he'll fall himself, not favoring his chances as players could now approach from connector and the party position simultaneously. Doesn't want to have to manage multiple angles at once.
There's that bathroom's control. Well, at least part of it for OG. Feels fairly restricted what they have on the map right now. They are working back towards Monster as well with Starlade in the sun. But once again, Steaker's in that same position he was last round. It's actually the same setup that GODSENT had in the previous round. So interestingly, you know, GODSENT are not doing anything crazy. They're sort of confirming where the default's mostly going from OG, and then they take the other part of the map that OG don't have. So in that sense, they've been doing that reliably, and that's a very consistent way to play the game. This is the Crim's position. We'll see what Steakin can get. Is there a flashbang? No flashbang. MBK walks out dry. Seiko picks up the kill. Crystal around the pillar. That's a great response. A double from him. Flashbang from Stico. Falls back. Teammates rotating to assist. They're playing the time now. The OG simply just don't have the time to plant. That said, we get a couple pushes right before the time here, and the bomb actually gets planted, and in goes Issa, takes down 1. That was expensive. I feel like that didn't have to be so expensive for GODSENT, and OG will be pleased with that one.
Yeah, GODSENT were desperate to challenge that. With 10 seconds left, they thought they could stop the plant in general, or at least deny that space, put OG in a weird predicament, but OG just hit their shots in the span of a couple of seconds and made that very costly.
What's strange is that it was a 4 versus 2 in favor of GODSENT, so because the OG team had to plant, you have a player that's out of the fight for 3.5 seconds, so I feel like you want to go in at that moment, because he's not faking it, because there's no time to do that. So maybe just pulling the trigger a little bit too early with that one, but they still win the round. They're still in it, but their money game sucks. They need an AWP. Guess this works though. Nice setup, and the connector is going to work out really well.
Good stuff from GODSENT once again, taking the initiative, finding a man advantage. 4v3 situation, and look at how they're all converging towards water now. But Zen, he's left alone actually at the B bomb site, and Crystal's caught off guard at the sandbags, but there to support him is Stiko. The team play continues from GODSENT, but it's still a trade that favors OG. Because they now have 2 players on the bomb site, and isolated is Stiko behind that smoke. But Farlig somehow able to take down MBK, just leaves Montu in the 1v2. He's pushed up towards CT, actually staying towards the pit position, and he's right beneath Heaven. He's going to have to juggle these angles perfectly if he wants to pull off this clutch. This would be a massive win for OG here. Oh, and he might have just done it there. The trigger discipline, staying behind that player, does end up finding him 1 kill, but he still has to deal with Stiko. And Stiko really taking his time with this one. What a flick from Montu there. Finds the headshot through the box and closes it out. 14th round for OG.
He's such a beast. Look at the money as well. They're absolutely wrecked for money. Wow.
I'm really surprised at Stiko's hesitation after his first teammate died. What
It
was he
seemed like they
looking
didn't
for?
know where Mantu was.
Yeah, that was very odd.
Yeah. Farlig's like they actually have. He said right there. He's saying, I don't know where I got shot from.
Yeah, what?
I'm not sure if. Yeah, I'm not sure what the movement there was from Stiko.
You think you just trade on the bomb site or something, or swing out? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it can only be the case that they, Farlig had zero idea where he got killed from.
Yeah.
And there was a lag in the communication of like figuring it out. And then Stiko that's why his movement's weird, because he doesn't know, he's waiting for the information. That's my guess. So 14-7, OG in a great position. It's going to be interesting to see if they can finish this one. They're starting to go from strength to strength. Mantu has been an absolute revelation. He's been so he is the foundation, it feels like, of this OG team, and that's not something that I expected. That said, a nice trade there.
So far that we've seen of Montu, he's been their most consistent top fragger and biggest impact player, especially with his AWP. Insane amount of shots. It's match for Alexi B. Issa there to trade him off. And now it's a 3-on-3 situation. As MBK is trying to skill on this bomb site.
Good utility coming out from OG, but still the tags do come out. Oh, Farlig. Only 1 bullet left in the chamber, and he's not able to finish off the frag, leaving just Crystal in the 1v3. And they know his position. There are so many bullets around him right now. And he's down to 8 HP. I'm sure he would love to just take that armor to the final, or the next round.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it could be the case with that. I think you're objectively correct. He should be doing that, but it's probably like there's just a lack of faith right now, I think.
Yeah, that was the most spread out I've ever seen GODSENT on a CT side thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a round that you need to treat very carefully, given that you forced into it. And I feel like they're already looking to map 3 here. This is, that was not a normal GODSENT look. They've been just on top of it with team plays, coordination, converging onto single spots, but that was just a spread out defense. And it looks like that's what we're kind of getting again.
What was the last map again?
Nuke.
Nuke. Oh, yes. Oh, also Nuke. Yeah. Gotcha. That's a good one for both teams, I think. Either way. Yeah, we didn't get much time to discuss the veto, I recall. That first game we had was really long.
We just jumped right in.
We jumped right in. 1 minute break in there. And look how methodical OG want to be here. They really want to make sure that they can withstand any weird plays that could come from GODSENT, but GODSENT stacking 3 towards the B site. So actually might be a pretty good call ultimately. We'll see what OG do decide to do, but they're not really taking any control towards bathrooms. And so at this point, okay. I was going to say, at this point, if you have 0 control towards bathrooms, you're probably just committing out to B. Especially in a round that's as dangerous as this, potentially dangerous. But right now, OG getting too many picks before they enter the site for GODSENT to have a decent shot at this one. Flashbang over the top there to make life just that much more difficult. And they are going to be executed 1 by 1, 16-7. GODSENT not having the success that they did on Inferno, but OG managing to, I think, be even more dominant than GODSENT were on their map pick. So it looks like these teams will trade one another's map choice.
Yeah, OG coming alive in the second map. MBK had a huge first half. He really just came alive and got a whole bunch of kills. And Team GODSENT looked a little flat. They look like on their own map pick, it doesn't look like they were very comfortable on what they were doing. Just a lot of slow at the beginning, but we'll talk about that after.
Like I just gave up that.
Talk about it after.
All right, guys. We'll catch you after the break to break that one down.